Hey everybody, Michael Thomas here, Wild About Cryptos. It is April 24th, 2018. Let me get some different aspect here. There we go. Get you out the sunlight. So, a lot of things going on in the world today, man. I mean, if you look at the news and paying attention to what's going on, there are so much going on in the world with finance and cryptocurrencies. You know, 2 or 3 years ago, people were saying that this was going to be the thing of the future, and it really is. I mean, it's really taken hold. When you have governments or high officials within governments around the world that are saying there is viability, the cryptocurrencies are they're viable, they have value, and they're pointing to that they have value. We now have cryptocurrencies that are going to commodity backing. There's cryptocurrencies out there talking about going gold backing and silver backing and so on. What's interesting is that from the time of 2008 when BTC came online to now, the blockchain has gotten so much faster and so much more proficient with some of these altcoins. So BTC has always been a high transaction fee, and it's always taken time to get your transactions, processed if you're buying or selling BTC. Then BCH came out, and they made it a little bit faster for those transactions to happen using Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin didn't want to get off the latency or old blockchain. They wanted to stay their way and not progress out. But here's an interesting thing I found in an article that came to me. That's pretty cool. That shows that Litecoin, basically, this is beautiful. This is what I love about Litecoin and what's going on with them is that they're going with progress. I mean, they are moving along as things progress. They seem to be progressing along. It was kind of a bummer that they didn't get Light Pay working and all that kind of blew away. But here's someone who went in and did a $99 million Litecoin transaction, and it only cost them a little under almost 40 cents. So it wasn't quite 40 cents, but 40 cents in fees to do the transaction. I mean, that's nothing for a $99 million Litecoin transaction. And what's funny is there's transferring money across. Read this. Remittances remain expensive and slow. They're talking about banking. They're talking about credit cards, the processing or transferring of large sums of money. The remittances of that are expensive and slow. Well, here's Litecoin. Transferring money across borders is not the most straightforward process. Banks charge rather high fees, often depending on country and recipient. Additionally, to such transfer take anywhere from 1 to 5 business days, which is unacceptable in the days of this day and age. Making it a positive impact in the regards is not all that easy. So here it is in the world. Finance transferring money around the world can be expensive. Yeah, it can be expensive. But then we have a guy here who does $99 million transaction in Litecoin and barely costs him 40 cents in fees. I mean, that's crazy. That's, to me, is like, well, that's a Lightning network. I mean, that's how I got on the Lightning network that they're using, the Lightning blockchain. I mean, for them to be able to do that and only pay a 40-cent fee, that's pretty awesome. They're getting, it's coming along. You're seeing a lot of things out there with these cryptocurrencies that they just seem to be progressing, in a positive way, even with all the FUD out there. I mean, there's still a lot of FUD. Okay. And that's, fear, doubt, or fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And even with all that, we're seeing some serious great progressions in what's going on with the cryptocurrencies. If you ever want to, you might not want to, but if you ever want to, learn how to create your own cryptocurrency. Okay. Here's a great article on how to go about creating a coin or a token. And one of my pages is called Simple Token, and that is it simpletoken.com. You can go in and create your own cryptocurrency. Well, you better know what you're doing. Okay, it's not something just anybody goes on and takes on lightly, because there's a lot to it. All right, to create your own cryptocurrency. For one, you got to have a good white paper and a good blockchain behind it. You can't just go out there, oh, I'm going to create this currency and then do nothing with it and expect it to grow. It's not going to grow. It's going to go by the wayside, and it's not going to go very far. But here's a great article to start learning on what to do to create your own cryptocurrency in the world if you so choose to. Okay. We have TBC, man. TBC is just amazing at what they're doing with their program. If you're not a TBC, the Billion Coin member, okay, learning about TBC or learning about the Billion Coin, you should. I mean, right now they're getting ready to do cruises on this to introduce it to the world and get people to come out on these cruises. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool what they're doing. We had a meeting. The voice of TBC, Randy Wilson, came out and gave us a huge update on what they're doing. The new coin is being developed. It's going to be unpegged from the euro and pegged to gold. There is a lot of things going on with the migration as of April 30th. So a lot of things going on with TBC. And understand, TBC is not like Bitcoin or Litecoin. Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum and a lot of those altcoins are ran off of a blockchain, and you can mine them and stuff. But it's their value is created by how many coins are in circulation, okay, or how many coins they have out in circulation, and that is what determines the value of the coin. Like Bitcoin is only going to have 21 million coins. Well, we're at 16. They're at 16 something now in circulation. So there's only like little under 5 million left that are going to be available. So that's why the value is so high. So what happens if everybody cashes in their Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's going to drop. Okay, not with TBC. TBC, is by the members. How many have valid accounts within TBC and are signed up as members? So instead of a cryptocurrency that is being valued by how many coins in circulation, this value is by the life of the members. So if we have 3 million or 1 billion members, I mean, what do you think TBC is going to be worth? And now they're going to go to a gold peg. So a gold peg means that it's even going to be more valuable than what we can even imagine just off that. So and if every member is pegged to 1 gram of gold or 1 grain of gold, the value of TBC is just going to go through the roof. And that's what we need. We need to get away from these fiat currencies that are just tearing our societies apart. So on and so forth. What's interesting is all these societies or groups that are getting involved with TBC or getting involved with cryptocurrencies. So here in the Middle Asia, the local law enforcement agencies are getting involved with, and TBC is embracing the police and military in their communities. So this is another great article you should read, because I think that's something that we all should do in our own communities. Let me see, where are we going here with this? There's just a lot going on in the world, guys. There is so much information. So here's a guy who is an investor, and he says that BTC, Bitcoin, is going to be greater than Tesla, Skype, Hotmail, you name it. It's going to be bigger than all those put together. So that tells you right there that just here you have an investor who's really into cryptocurrencies and believes it's going to go far. A lot of the reports have come out that they think that BTC is going to hit at least 40,000 to 80,000 here by the end of 2018. And you have some of these investors who are thinking that Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000 or more. I mean, I think I heard an article back a few months ago where they said that BTC was going to go up to probably $1 million. That's quite a bit, you know, in US dollars. That means the dollar is going to have to crash. And you know, fiat currencies, yeah, they're kind of like on their way out. So a lot of interesting information in here on my Facebook site, guys. Come on in and like and follow Facebook / Wildcryptos, and you know, like and follow, and you'll get a lot of great information out of that. So let's look at. Hang on, guys. Let me share another page with you. Okay, I'm gonna share another page to see if I can find it here. And oh, better yet, let's just go back. Go back to where we were. Where was it? Cancel. Go. What happened? I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, so let me go back here again. Application window. Oh, it's the whole thing. That's weird. No, don't like that. Let's see. Did we cancel that out? How did that work? So anyway, guys, I mean, in what's being on the coin market, and let me just share the whole screen. Heck with this. See what happens. Oh, bing, 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 bing. Here it comes. It's coming back again. Look at that, everyone. Oh my God, that looks like the worst tunnel I've ever been in. So let's see. How does this work? How do you get this to stop? Well, let's stop. Okay. We're back in here again. See if it shows me anything. Oh, no. Sure it doesn't. Hang on, guys. Get this working here. I'm going to step out of here for a minute, and let's see what we got going on. I want to look at the coin market and see where cryptos are today. See where we are with the value in cryptos. So let me call this back up again. Always a chore trying to figure this one out. What happened? What happened to my windows, man? Well, guys, it doesn't look like I can share much. Let me try this again. Come on. Bing, 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 bing. That's crazy. So let me share my screen. Hope you guys can see this. Come up here, go to here, and look at this. Let's go down. Here's coin market. So anyway, guys, look at this. We have Bitcoin is up 9,479, 6.25% just today. And in the last 7 days, it's up almost 19%. That's pretty good. That's a good climb for Bitcoin. You know, I think we're out of we're out of the bottom, guys. I think we're going to do a steady climb, and we want it steady and slow. We do not want great jumps in this market. Steady and slow, okay, is what we're looking for. We're not looking for, you know, everybody to come in and buy billions and billions of dollars, which I think is probably going to happen here next month or between May and June. It's going to go crazy. And you're going to see this market just really go crazy. So if you're not in, you should really get in and really stick with the basics. Stick with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, you know, Ethereum, maybe some Dash, maybe some Monero, and then pick a couple coins that you really like. Look at the white papers on them and learn what is great about those coins. A lot of these coins have some great white papers written up on them on what they're doing and what they're backing and what's backing them. You know, you need to stay away from the remittance coins like Ripple. Ripple's is a banking coin. It's from the bank. It may go up, but I would not put a lot into Ripple unless, you know, you're a banker and you really like bank remittances and stuff, because that's I think that Ripple and Ethereum are probably going to go that way. But Litecoin's coming across nicely. It's gaining. I mean, it's up 21%. Bitcoin Cash is up 89, almost 90% in the last 7 days. That's a lot. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to give Bitcoin a run for the money this year. I really do. I think that if you're not into Bitcoin and Litecoin, you're probably going to lose out. So those are two currencies I would hold. You know, Neum's one of my favorites because of what they're built on, and what they represent in their white paper. They have a lot of good backing behind them, and they're coming along nicely. They're up 25% today. Um, so you know, people. Here's the funny thing. Um, People don't like Bytecoin or Dogecoin. I like them both, because I can mine a lot of them pretty quick. And when you can mine a lot of them pretty quick, that value builds up pretty quick. Okay. So those are two coins I really like to mine, Bytecoin and Dogecoin. Um, Hoping that someday that they will gain a value. Now, Dogecoin got picked up by Litecoin, and they are helping to recreate the Dogecoin uh, platform, because the guy who created Dogecoin did it as a joke, thinking that, oh, I'm just going to create my own coin, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he kind of let it fall by the wayside, but, you know, a lot of it got mined. A lot of people hold Dogecoin, and I call it doggy coin or whatever, but it's actually Dogecoin. And um, it's there's a lot of people that hold it. So I mean, if it ever goes up in value, there's going to be some millionaires overnight with that coin. And same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the same way. If you know, a lot of people hold Bitcoin from mining and stuff, and they're just holding it there as a you know, like a hedge to their Bitcoin or to their Bitcoin Cash. Um, so these are two coins maybe you should look at if you're a miner to mine. Um, so there's a lot of good coins. Misa Gold, you know, I keep hearing a lot of things about Misa Gold. Uh, you know, oh my God, coin. But it is, you know, it's up to $18. It's up 27%. So I think we're out of that slump. We might have a sell off here, but where at, we don't. I mean, I'm not going to say. I would say probably it's going to have to be right around 20,000 again, 20 to 30,000. But if that happens, it won't be a long sell off. I think people are going to start hodling now. There's a lot of information out there where cryptocurrencies are being accepted. They're starting to do uh, research on them. JP Morgan, was it JP Morgan that just did a study? Oh, here it is. The Federal Reserve did it. The Federal Reserve did a study on Bitcoin, and you know, it's breaking down the Bitcoin in a new study, which that to me is them looking at it very, very earnestly to say, is this a viable means for future transactions? Okay, is this a viable currency for the Federal Reserve to be involved with? And they came up with some pretty interesting statistics here. In an effort to assign Bitcoin one of the above monetary categories, the research concluded that Bitcoin actually defied traditional categorizations. Well, of course it does, because the Federal Reserve creates money and then sells it to the U.S. government, okay, or lends it to the U.S. government for a fee, which is taxation, okay? Whereas Bitcoin creates it, and they do this through a centralized system, okay? That's what the Federal Reserve is a centralized system, okay, from the U.S. government for the U.S. government, okay? It's not controlled by the U.S. government. It's controlled by private bankers, all right? Now, when it gets sucked up under the United States Treasury, which I understand that could happen, and the IRS could get sucked up under the U.S. Treasury, which I hope it does happen for, you know, this country's sake, that there will be stricter regulations on everything, and then the people will be able to control the money more in this country. But the whole point of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin being created, is to move away from the centralized banking, this control, to where the bankers and everything control, you know, how much money flows through this country and how much money, you know, comes back to them through taxation. It's a ruthless, you know, black hole that they've created and it just sucks the wealth out of everybody. You know, the top 1% make all the money, and the bottom 99% are left in poverty. You know, so uh, this is to me. I'm glad they're looking at cryptocurrencies, but I think they want to get their hands in there and control it. Now, Big Swear and a couple other uh, uh, broadcasters out there on cryptocurrencies, you know, firmly believe that Alan Greenspan was the creator of BTC. He is the actually Nakamoto's Satoshi, um, which, you know, I'm starting to agree with that because of what I see here. I see the Federal Reserve, I see J.P. Morgan, I see Soros, I see all these big financial minds getting and wanting to get involved now with cryptocurrency after they all said that they put all that FUD out there that it wasn't viable. It's a big scam. It's just another .com bubble. Blah, it's going to blow up. Blah blah blah. Well, to me, that's BS. That's just more FUD. And now, look, the central bank is looking at is BTC, is Bitcoin a viable asset that the Federal Reserve could use? So the research pointed out that gold has decentralized transaction handling and competitive creation process wherein anyone can mine it, and infinite supply, all traits which are shared by Bitcoin. What? What did he just say? Gold has a decentralized transaction handling and a competitive creation process wherein anyone can mine it, and an infinite supply, all traits which share by Bitcoin. Wow. Did they just say that? They just did. So what they did say was Bitcoin is decentralized. It's just like gold. You can go out and mine it, okay? And you can mine it and it's unlimited. I love that. I love that. However, it is also an inherent value as a commodity, unlike fiat currency, which represents the value of a commodity. Nah, I don't agree with that. Like gold, so because you know what? That paper fiat currency is just paper. It may have an agreement that it backs gold and silver, but for the last 70 years, or since 1971, there has been no gold, okay, on that paper until the last maybe 5 or 6 years. They started putting gold on the currency. Okay, you look at $100 bill now, you look at a $20 bill now, and I think you can look at a $10 bill now and a $50 bill, and there is metal, okay, in the currency. All right, it's you see it on the $100 bill, you see it in the 20. There's a little, you know, that little line wire that goes across the dollar bill now, okay, that's in the dollar bill that has precious metal in it, okay, for the value of that dollar. So HR 5405 came out stating that, you know, within, as of March, it was 18th, March 2018, they have 30 months and they'll be gold back. US dollar will be gold back again. Okay, you have 30 months from March 2018. And, you know, the United States Treasurer Mnuchin came out December 7th and said, hey, we're Basel III compliant. Basel III compliant means that we have commodity-backed currency again, which we didn't have after Nixon, you know, destroyed the silver backing and the metals backing on the dollar in 1971. So, and we went to a petrodollar. Commercial bank deposits and central bank electronic money are considered virtual money because they do not have a physical representation. They exist as records only. On the other hand, physical forms of money like gold and cash often don't even need a record in order to function in the market. Well, that's true. But cash, paper money that has no metal commodity or no gold or silver backing on it is still considered a fiat currency. Okay? It has no value other than the agreement between the bank and the people. And you know what? If the bank says, oh, it's worth $100, but what's backing it? And there's no backing on it. It isn't worth $100, just a piece of paper. That's what they say. It isn't worth the paper it's printed on. So cryptocurrencies to me have more value than paper currency does, other than the paper that it's printed on, which, you know, so it doesn't say much. So the answer, of course, is none of them. Bitcoin takes on traits of all three categories and brings some brand new characteristics as well, making it a unique currency. Wow. Did they just say that too? That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. So the research is that Bitcoin does have validity. And the Federal Reserve just did a study and they're saying, I guess it does. Bitcoin is very virtual money for which ownership rights to the various monetary units are managed in decentralized network. There is no central authority to boss and no management, and yet it still works. The Bitcoin blockchain is the decentralized accounting system, and the so-called miners are the bookkeepers. That's right, we control it. The miners and the people control it. It's not controlled by a central bank. Thank God. Decentralized management of ownership of digital assets is a fundamental innovation. It has the potential to disrupt the current payment infrastructure and financial system in general. It could affect all businesses and government agencies that are involved in record keeping. Well, here's the thing about the blockchain. If and there's articles out there too about people are accepting or using the blockchain technology, okay, for their businesses because it's record keeping, it's file record keeping, transaction record keeping, okay, and it is fast and it is proficient. So the blockchain is fast and proficient. That's why all these companies want to take up blockchain technology now. The researchers went on to point out that the recognizable traits that Bitcoin does have before moving on to whether bank-issued virtual money even has a purpose at all. So we go on, and I'm telling you, there's a lot going on around the world. All the governments are looking really, really close at this. And if the Federal Reserve did this study, you can guarantee that all the other central banks in the world are looking at this. The special feature of cryptocurrency is that they combine the transactional advantages of virtual money with systemic independence of decentralized transaction processing. Furthermore, as with gold, the creation of new Bitcoin units is competitive. Anyone can engage in the creation of new Bitcoin units by downloading the respective software and contributing to the system. So if you're a miner and you have miners and you're running them, okay, and you're recording the transactions, the buys and the sells, and you're earning a fee for that, okay, that is exactly what they're talking about here. You can download the software and you can contribute to the blockchain. In practice, however, a few large miners dominate the mining process. This reason is that competition has become fierce and only large mining farms with highly specialized hardware and access to cheap electricity can still make a profit from mining. So yeah, I mean, the hardware is expensive and electricity is expensive. So, but you know, it's the large miners that are making the money, guys. The researchers made one of their most important points here, and one that is often overlooked by the die-hard suppliers of fiat over Bitcoin or the reverse. Each form of money has its own benefits and drawbacks. This is why many forms of money coexist. Cash is permissionless and anonymous, with no account and no record needed. There's no one point of attack, but also you have manipulation, you have counterfeiting, you have fraud, okay? You have all that with a cash society, with cash, okay? You have so many criminal things that could happen with printed money. So when they say that Bitcoin, oh, Bitcoin, you know, we gotta control it because there's all these criminals out there that are going to use it against, you know, for drugs and war and guns and stuff. Well, dude, they do it with regular cash money too. Okay. Funny thing is, you cannot counterfeit a Bitcoin. You cannot counterfeit a Litecoin. Okay. How are you going to counterfeit it? I mean, in order for them to do that, it has to stay within a blockchain. You can't counterfeit it. Like a payment processing server, they can disrupt the cash system by payment, making it a robust and decentralized system in terms of payment. There's also no credit relationship or risk involved with cash. Really? I don't agree with that. Transactions are final and done in person, allowing people to trade even if they don't trust each other. Of course, it's not viable for long distance trading, such as online purchases, which is a drawback rectified by virtual money, which allows for new business opportunities in new far away markets. Well, see, there's a positive thing about digital currency. With cash, okay, it doesn't matter whether you're in a bank account or you have a debit card or a credit card. You know, cash, in order to buy something, you have to go in person to buy it. That's true. Well, I don't agree with that first part, because you can get personal with Bitcoin or digital transactions by going to the store and having the app on your phone, okay, an app on your phone, or having a debit card that has digital currency on it, and going and doing a purchase. Because how many people go in a store nowadays and pay in cash all the time? Not, I don't pay. I don't think everybody pays in cash all the time. Okay. A lot of people use debit cards, credit cards, phone apps. Okay. So, there's a lot of personalization when you go in a store and you hold up your debit card, stick it in the machine, and, it processes, and then you pull it out and you stick it back in your wallet. Okay. And and your transaction's completed. It's still a digital transaction. So I don't agree with that part. I think they're trying to hype it that cash has more personality to it. Well, maybe in some cases, for design and artwork, but you still have to get personal with the machines now, because everything is computerized, it's digital, it's digitized. Um, so yeah, I don't agree with that completely. We believe there is a great demand for virtual asset issued by a trusted party that can be used to save outside the private financial system. Then they give some charts here on cash value, GDP, and so on and so forth. So, and a lot of this is that the Federal Reserve and the central banks and everything they are kind of naive to the whole blockchain digital currency platform and how it really works. So, guys, there are so many things that could go well with digital currency. Number one, you cannot counterfeit it. Okay, so counterfeiters would totally be out of the corruption loop. The other thing is that if the CFTC and the CEC uh, go in and put regulations on it, okay, I mean, they don't stifle it, but they just put some regulations on it where the control through the exchanges and everything are better controlled, and certain rules apply to where these exchanges can't go out and shut down and say, oh, somebody hacked in and stole all our Bitcoin or stole all our cryptocurrency, and then you guys are left in with the bag. That's why it's so important to have a hard wallet instead of a exchange. Um, and so look into hard wallets, and I think they're coming out with some pretty good ones now. I know that Ledger has some. Mainly, it is the app that runs them that puts that onto your wallet, your hard wallet. Um, and I think there's multi-currency hard wallets out there that are coming out. So you have to do your research on those. Also, um, you know, mining is expensive. I mean, the equipment's expensive. You can only buy it from certain vendors, and you can only buy it via the cryptocurrency process. So, they have accounts, unless you have, knowledge of how to do that or enough cryptocurrency in your account to do that, the big miners are going to win out. So mining, is an option, but you're going to have to put some money into mining to earn your cryptocurrency. Others are buying it through the exchanges. That's fine as long as you don't leave it in an exchange for too long. You can leave some in there a little bit if you plan on using it to trade and buy and use it for purchases if you can. But be very, very cautious of what's going on with the exchanges and what's going on around the world financially, because you don't want to get stuck with millions of dollars in that account, and then the exchange goes Oh, we had gotten hacked. You know, we lost all our Bitcoin. Blah blah blah. And you guys are holding the you're holding an account with 0 coins in it, and you're going, where did all my cryptocurrencies go? And it's another Mount Gox. So you guys need to be careful about that. Um, the world is changing. My grandkids, my kids, and my grandkids um, will be growing up on a digital currency. Um, whether it be gold back, GDP back, or just a digital currency that's on a blockchain is yet to become. Cryptocurrencies are we're at the very beginning of what the actual end result will be with cryptocurrencies. One of the fears that I think most people have about cryptocurrencies is that, oh, they're going to put a chip in your hand. And there's an article that came out that, you know, that RFID is out, and they're tagging their dogs and they're tagging their children and they're tagging their employees and so on and so forth. The point is, just say no. Okay. I agree. I wouldn't put a chip in my hand to digital currencies. That's why I like TBC. TBC is not going to go that route. Um, and if you go in and study TBC, the billion coin, you'll know why. It's very people oriented. It's a member oriented currency. Yes, it does run on a blockchain, but it is not mineable. It has value through the living being membership. And when I say living being, that means living man, living woman. Okay. And you become the asset behind the cryptocurrency, not the government. The government doesn't control it. There's no hierarchy that controls it. It's all equal membership through the members. So that's what I like about TBC. Guys, a lot of things going on in the world of cryptos. I'm just wild about cryptos. I love talking about them. I love learning about them. You guys, go out and do your research. Put some cryptocurrencies in your portfolio. You won't go wrong with that. I think we're out of the bottom. I think we're going up. I think there's some great things coming. This is Michael Thomas, Wild About Cryptos. Catch you next time. You guys have a great day, and be wild about cryptos. See you next time.